Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friend English podcast. I'm Ellie.
And I'm Danny. We're very happy to have you here with us today.
Thank you for joining us wherever you are. Maybe you're at home, maybe you're on your way to work, or maybe you're enjoying a quiet moment.
Whatever you're doing, we're glad you're spending some time with us today.
Today's topic is something that comes up in conversations all over the world.
That's right. We're talking about jobs and work.
More specifically, we're talking about how to talk about your job in English.
This is a useful skill because people often ask about work when they meet someone new.
It's one of the most common conversation topics in everyday life.
I agree. If you're meeting a new friend, a neighbor, or a coworker, jobs often become part of the conversation.
Many English learners know how to do their jobs very well, but they sometimes struggle to describe them in English.
That's completely normal because every job has its own vocabulary and expressions.
The good news is that you don't need complicated English to talk about your work.
Simple and clear English is often the best choice.
Let's start with a question that many people hear all the time.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
The question is, what do you do?
It's such a short question, but it appears in conversations everywhere.
When someone asks, what do you do, they're usually asking about your job.
They're not asking what you're doing at that exact moment.
That's an important difference for English learners to remember.
So, Ellie, let's imagine we've just met for the first time.
Sounds good.
Hi, Ellie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, what do you do?
I'm a graphic designer, and I work with different companies on creative projects.
That sounds interesting. What kind of projects do you usually work on?
I design logos, advertisements, and social media content for businesses.
That's a great answer because it explains both your job title and your responsibilities.
Exactly. Giving a little extra information helps keep the conversation going.
Many people stop after saying their job title, but there's often more to say.
For example, someone might say, I'm a teacher.
Then they could add, I teach English to high school students.
Or they could say, I've been teaching for 7 years.
Those extra details make the conversation much more natural.
Let's look at a few more examples.
Great idea.
Someone might say, I'm a nurse and I work in a large hospital.
Another person could say, I'm an engineer and I help design buildings.
Or, I'm a chef and I prepare meals for a busy restaurant.
Notice that all of these examples use simple and practical English.
That's because everyday conversations don't need perfect or advanced vocabulary.
People mainly want to understand what you do and what your work is like.
Speaking of work, what was your dream job when you were a child?
That's a fun question because my answer changed many times.
Really? What did you want to be first?
When I was very young, I wanted to be a firefighter.
That's a popular choice for children.
I thought firefighters were brave and I loved watching fire trucks drive by.
Did you keep that dream for a long time?
Not really. A few years later, I wanted to be a pilot instead.
That's quite a different job.
It is, but I became fascinated with airplanes and travel.
Many people discover new interests as they grow older.
Exactly. The job you dream about as a child isn't always the job you choose as an adult.
That's certainly true in my case.
What was your dream job?
I wanted to be a veterinarian because I loved animals.
I can imagine that.
I spent hours reading books about animals and watching nature programs.
So what changed?
As I got older, I became interested in art, design, and creative work.
And eventually that led you to your current career.
Exactly. Looking back, I'm glad I explored different interests.
That's one reason jobs are such an interesting conversation topic.
Why do you think that is?
Because every job tells part of a person's story.
I like that idea.
When someone talks about their work, they're often talking about their experiences too.
That's very true.
Another common question people ask is, how long have you been doing your job?
I hear that question quite often.
It's a useful way to learn more about someone's experience.
For example, you could say, I've been a teacher for 6 years.
Or, I've worked in marketing since 2020.
Both answers sound very natural.
They also help people understand where you are in your career.
Speaking of careers, do you remember your first job?
I remember it very clearly because I was extremely nervous.
I think most people feel that way during their first week.
On my first day, I arrived early because I didn't want to be late.
How early did you arrive?
Almost 20 minutes early, and I spent most of that time worrying.
What were you worried about?
I was worried about making mistakes and forgetting important information.
Those are very common concerns for new employees.
At the time, it felt like everyone else knew exactly what they were doing.
That's a feeling many people experience when starting a new job.
The funny thing is that everyone was probably nervous when they first started too.
That's true, but we often forget that.
During my first week, I asked a lot of questions because everything was new to me.
Were your coworkers helpful?
Fortunately, they were very patient and willing to explain things.
Having supportive coworkers can make a huge difference.
It really can. Their advice helped me feel more comfortable every day.
I had a similar experience when I started my first full-time job.
What happened?
I thought I needed to know everything immediately, which was impossible.
That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself.
It was. Eventually, I realized that learning takes time and experience.
That's an important lesson for anyone starting a new role.
Nobody expects a new employee to know everything on the first day.
Most managers simply want to see that you're willing to learn and improve.
Exactly.
Learning, asking questions, and gaining experience are all part of professional growth.
And sometimes those early experiences become the stories we remember for years.
Speaking of memorable experiences, I still remember a mistake I made during my first month at work.
Really? What happened?
Well, one afternoon, my manager asked me to prepare an important report for a meeting.
That sounds like a big responsibility for a new employee.
It definitely felt like a big responsibility at the time.
Were you confident about doing it?
Not at all. I spent most of the day checking my work again and again.
I think many people do that when they're new.
The problem was that I accidentally sent the unfinished version to several people.
Oh no, that must have been embarrassing.
It was. As soon as I realized my mistake, I felt terrible.
What did you do next?
First, I checked whether there was any way to fix it quickly.
And was there?
Fortunately, yes. I sent the correct version a few minutes later.
That's not too bad.
Looking back now, it wasn't a huge problem at all.
But at the time, it probably felt like a disaster.
Exactly. When you're new, every mistake feels much bigger.
That's very true.
My manager was actually very understanding about the situation.
That's always nice to hear.
He told me that everyone makes mistakes and that learning is part of the job.
That's excellent advice.
I still remember those words because they helped me relax.
Sometimes a few encouraging words can make a huge difference.
They certainly can.
Speaking of work, what does a typical day look like for you now?
That's a good question because every day is a little different.
I think many modern jobs are like that.
Usually, I start by checking my emails and reviewing my schedule.
That's a common way to begin the day.
Then I look at my priorities and decide what needs attention first.
Staying organized is very important at work.
Absolutely. Good organization saves a lot of time.
What happens after that?
I spend most of my day working on projects and communicating with other people.
Do you attend many meetings?
Some weeks I do, and other weeks I don't have many at all.
People's feelings about meetings can be very different.
That's true. Some people enjoy meetings, and some people try to avoid them.
Which group are you in?
I like meetings when they are productive and well-organized.
I think most people would agree with that.
Nobody enjoys a meeting that could have been a short email.
That's a sentence many office workers understand.
Definitely.
Another thing people often talk about is their coworkers.
Coworkers can have a big impact on your work experience.
Sometimes they make difficult days much easier.
And sometimes they become good friends.
Have you ever become friends with a coworker?
Yes, several times.
That's nice.
When you spend many hours working with people, friendships can develop naturally.
Especially when you're working toward the same goals.
Exactly. You solve problems together and support each other.
I remember one coworker who helped me a lot during my first year.
What did they do?
Whenever I had a question, she always made time to help me.
That kind of support is very valuable.
It really is. She never made me feel embarrassed for asking questions.
That's the sign of a good coworker.
I learned a great deal from her experience.
Sometimes the people around us become our best teachers.
I completely agree.
Have you ever worked on a challenging project?
Many times.
Tell us about one.
A few years ago, I worked on a project with a very tight deadline.
That sounds stressful already.
It was. There was a lot of work to complete in a short amount of time.
Were you working alone?
No, I was part of a small team.
That's helpful.
It was. Everyone worked hard and supported one another.
Did the project succeed?
Yes, but there were several difficult moments along the way.
Such as?
At one point, we discovered a problem that nobody expected.
Those surprises are never fun.
Not at all. We had to change part of our plan very quickly.
That must have required a lot of teamwork.
It did. Everyone shared ideas and worked together to find a solution.
That's one of the things I enjoy about work.
What is?
Solving problems with other people.
It can be very satisfying.
Especially when everyone contributes something useful.
I think that's why teamwork is such an important skill.
Definitely.
Many employers value teamwork just as much as technical skills.
Because most jobs involve working with other people.
Exactly.
Speaking of skills, what skills do you think are important in almost every job?
That's an interesting question.
Take your time.
I would say communication is one of the most important skills.
I agree completely.
Being able to explain ideas clearly helps in almost every profession.
Whether you're talking to customers, coworkers, or managers.
Exactly. What else would you add to the list? Adaptability is another important skill.
That's a great answer.
Workplaces change all the time, so people need to be flexible.
Technology changes, projects change, and priorities change.
That's why being willing to learn is so important.
I couldn't agree more.
In fact, some of the most successful people I've met were always learning something new.
That's a pattern I've noticed as well.
They were curious, open-minded, and eager to improve.
And those qualities help them grow throughout their careers.
You know, all this talk about careers reminds me of an interesting conversation I had with a coworker a few years ago.
Really? What was the conversation about?
We were having lunch together, and I asked him about his career plans.
That's a question that can lead to some very interesting answers.
It certainly can.
So what did he say?
At first, he told me he didn't really have a long-term plan.
That's a very honest answer.
It was, but as we continued talking, his ideas became much clearer.
What kinds of goals did he have?
He wanted to improve his leadership skills and take on more responsibility.
Those sound like strong career goals.
He also wanted to learn new software and become more confident when speaking in meetings.
I think many people can relate to that goal.
Definitely. Public speaking can be challenging for a lot of people.
Even experienced professionals sometimes feel nervous.
That's true. Confidence often comes from practice and experience.
The more you do something, the easier it becomes.
Exactly. Did your coworker eventually achieve those goals?
He made a lot of progress over the next few years.
That's great to hear.
He started leading small projects and became much more comfortable speaking in front of groups.
That must have felt rewarding.
It did. He was very proud of how much he had grown.
Stories like that remind us that careers are often a journey.
I completely agree.
People sometimes compare themselves to others too much.
That's a common mistake.
Everyone develops at a different pace.
What's important is continuing to learn and improve.
Exactly. Another thing people often discuss is what they enjoy most about their jobs.
That's one of my favorite questions.
Why's that?
Because the answers are usually very personal.
That's true.
Some people love helping customers solve problems.
Others enjoy working with technology.
Some enjoy being creative every day.
And others enjoy working as part of a team.
What do you enjoy most about your work?
I enjoy learning new things and meeting different people.
That's a wonderful combination.
Every project teaches me something I didn't know before.
I think that's one of the best parts of any career. What about you?
I enjoy the variety.
Meaning that every day feels different?
Exactly. I like having new challenges and new experiences.
That keeps things interesting.
It certainly does. Of course, every job has challenges too.
No job is perfect.
Sometimes people imagine that certain careers are easy.
But every profession has its own difficulties.
That's very true.
The important thing is finding work that feels meaningful to you.
I like that idea. Meaningful work doesn't look the same for everyone. Some people value creativity.
Some value stability,
Others enjoy helping people.
and some enjoy solving complex problems.
There's no single right answer.
Exactly.
Before we finish today, I'd like to ask you one final question.
Go ahead.
What advice would you give someone who's starting a new job?
That's a great question.
Take your time.
I would tell them not to expect perfection from themselves.
That's excellent advice.
A new job comes with new systems, new people, and new responsibilities.
There's always a lot to learn at the beginning.
Exactly. It's normal to ask questions and make small mistakes.
Learning is part of the process.
I would also encourage them to stay curious and keep improving,
Continuous learning is so important.
especially in today's world where industries change so quickly.
What else would you tell them?
I would remind them to be patient with themselves.
That's something many people need to hear.
Progress takes time, and confidence grows through experience.
I completely agree.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What advice would you give?
I would tell people to build good relationships with their coworkers.
That's very important.
Supportive colleagues can make work more enjoyable and less stressful.
They can also help you learn faster.
Exactly. Some of the most valuable lessons I've learned came from the people around me.
That's a great point.
Work isn't only about tasks and deadlines.
It's also about communication and teamwork.
And sometimes the friendships we build along the way.
Very true.
Well, Danny, I've really enjoyed today's conversation.
I have too. It's been fun talking about jobs and careers.
We hope our listeners learned some useful expressions they can use in real conversations.
And we hope you feel more confident talking about your own job in English.
Remember, you don't need perfect English to describe your work.
Simple, clear communication is often the most effective.
Whether you're talking about your job title, your responsibilities, or your career goals.
The more you practice, the more natural it becomes.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us on the Friend English podcast.
We always enjoy sharing these conversations with you.
Take care of yourselves, keep practicing your English, and keep learning something new every day.
And we'll see you again very soon for another friendly conversation.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, and thanks for listening.